everybody, welcome back to another review. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a look at the brand new Star Wars Resistance figure. This one is Kaz Xiono, or Kaz Xiono, and he is from Resistance. He is the main character. Let me say before I get into this figure that I started watching Resistance because I wanted to know a little bit more about them before I filmed these, and I ended up watching what all that Disney has out right now. I watched it all in 2 days, and so I found it for free on YouTube. But I thought it was great. I mean, I definitely wasn't into it to begin with. The animation is definitely different. It's very unique. And it's definitely a show for kids. And so definitely I see where people aren't going to be a huge fan of it. That's totally fine. But I thought that it was cute. It had some charming elements to it. And I like the fact that they're still putting forth shows for kids. For Star Wars, because I didn't have any of that growing up. Well, when I first got into Star Wars, there were no kids shows out. So I think it's really cool and very neat. And so of course they've made figures on them. They have raised the price of these figures. These figures are like $8 and change. So keep that in mind. I actually didn't know that when I picked this up. It wasn't on a peg that was marked, and so I saw it afterwards. I'm like, that's why they were so expensive. So keep that in mind. But yes, so here is Kaz Xiono, and I like his name because it's like very Star Warsy to me. Or Kazuda is his full name, Kazuda Xiono. And so it says, as seen on Rebels, Star Wars Resistance, not Rebels, oops. If I say Rebels on accident, I definitely mean Resistance. And he's a 5-point of articulation figure. He does come with a couple accessories, which are cool. I picked him out because before I watched the show, I knew he was the main character, and he's got some cool colors. And so I like the card back. It's kind of fresh and new. I only like it because it's new, probably, but it's very flimsy, super thin. But I like the art on it is pretty good. On the back, it gives a little bitty bio, and then you can also pick up Tora Doza and a First Order Stormtrooper. The cool thing about this is they always tend to animate, when they make figures for them, they give a different animation style for like everybody. So let me open this guy up and I'll give you guys a closer look. Alrighty, so here is Kaz, and he's pretty simplistic. There is not a lot to review about him. He has a ball jointed neck, and it looks like they're doing the ball joints from the top, so you can pull his head off. He's got a new age haircut with hair on top and shaved on the sides. That's what all the kids get nowadays, and it's kind of like flipped up. It's like whooshed up. He's got a scar on the side of his head, but they don't include it. It's not there because they tend to take out those tiny details. His eyes look really red in this, but I must say the paint on his face is super clean. It's really, really good. I can't complain about that. I think they did a very good job. Yeah, it's very clean. The sculpt is great. That is one good thing about these figures that Hasbro gets away with, is the animation style is so simple, they can't really mess up the character likeness, and so that's something to think about. His little jacket seems to be like a soft plastic, but only kind of in the front. It's not obviously going to be attached to him because his shoulders have individual movement. This is all sculpted. So they move like this, and then his hips move like this. So you can't bend this guy down. You can't really do a whole lot of poses with him. So be wary of that. That's nothing new. We've been seeing this for years now. But definitely interesting. Out of the package, he's a little bit less impressive, to be honest. But he does come with his really cool little racing helmet, which I think is great. I'm glad they didn't sculpt it onto his face like they started doing when they initially re-released the 5 POA figures for The Force Awakens. They sculpted like all the pilots' helmets on, and it just looked awful. I have a couple of those, like Poe and Asti, I think. But it fits his head great, and you can still see his eyes. I think it looks fantastic. He also does come with this little bitty blaster that isn't really useful. Kaz doesn't really use a blaster in the show. He's clumsy and kind of charming, but he's not like a fighter in that way, and so you can kind of set him up in his own little pose if you want to, but you of course are limited as to what you do. So whenever you see these guys, if you're interested in picking them up, definitely cool in that way. They have a very artistic sense, but in terms of posability or action play, there's not really much here. I picked them up kind of to review and because I really like Resistance, but I am also really a sucker for anything. So I kind of got these guys and I was like, I probably won't pick up any more, and now that I've seen the show, I want them all. So somebody help me, please. People call it a cash grab. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I just tend to try to enjoy Star Wars as it comes because at least they're giving us something. Years ago, we complained about them never giving us anything, and so beggars can't be choosers. You can't have your cake and eat it too. So, that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for other ones, guys. And if you have any comments or questions, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.